The Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio is more than just a high-performance SUV, it is a living, breathing embodiment of Italian engineering passion, blending the raw power of a sports car with the practicality of a luxury family vehicle, and for enthusiasts around the world it has become a symbol of how Alfa Romeo can stand shoulder to shoulder with German and British rivals while offering something uniquely emotional, uniquely Italian, and uniquely Alfa, beginning with its heart. A 2.9-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine derived from Ferrari expertise, delivering around 510 horsepower and 600 Nm of torque, channeled through an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission that can shift gears in just 150 milliseconds when placed in race mode, and that performance translates into staggering real-world results, with the Stelvio Quadrifoglio accelerating from 0 to 100 km/h in just 3.8 seconds and continuing on to a top speed of 283 km/h, making it one of the fastest SUVs in the world, and not just in a straight line but also on the twisty Nürburgring track where it famously set a blistering lap time of 7 minutes 51.7 seconds, securing its place in history as the fastest production SUV of its era. And the reason it handles so brilliantly is not only the engine but also the finely tuned chassis, lightweight materials, and Alfa's Q4 all-wheel drive system with torque vectoring and electronically controlled limited slip differential that allows the car to dance through corners with balance and agility that SUVs are rarely known for, almost feeling like a sports sedan despite its taller stance, while the Alfa DNA Pro Drive Mode selector gives the driver control over driving character, from efficiency and comfort to full-on performance savagery in race mode where the exhausts open up, stability control relaxes, and the car truly comes alive with the sound of snarling turbos and Italian fury. And speaking of sound, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio is fitted with a Harman Kardon premium audio system for those moments when you want music instead of engine symphonies, filling the cabin with crystal clear quality through 14 speakers. But let's step back and admire the design, because this SUV doesn't just perform like a beast, it looks like one too, with an aggressive front fascia featuring Alfa's iconic triangular Scudetto grille flanked by slim adaptive LED matrix headlights, muscular wheel arches that house up to 21-inch alloy wheels, carbon fiber accents on the roof, side mirrors, and rear spoiler, quad exhaust tips, and that legendary Quadrifoglio 4-leaf clover badge on the fender which has been a symbol of Alfa Romeo performance since 1923. And moving inside, the cabin is a driver-focused cockpit where carbon fiber, leather, and Alcantara dominate, with heavily bolstered sports seats that hold you firmly during spirited driving yet remain supportive on long journeys, a flat-bottom steering wheel wrapped in Alcantara and leather with a big red engine start button just like in a Ferrari, large aluminum paddle shifters mounted on the steering column for rapid gear changes, and a central 8.8-inch infotainment display offering navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, supported by a digital driver cluster that blends tradition with modernity by combining analog-inspired dials with digital readouts, and practicality has not been forgotten either, as the Stelvio Quadrifoglio still offers 525 liters of cargo space expandable to over 1,600 with the rear seats folded, making it just as usable as it is thrilling, and safety is supported by a suite of driver assistance features like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning, and automatic emergency braking, all of which keep it competitive with rivals in the premium SUV market. But what sets it apart from cars like the BMW X3 M, Mercedes AMG GLC 63, and Porsche Macan Turbo is not just numbers on paper but the emotional connection it creates, because every time you drive it you are reminded that Alfa Romeo does not build cars merely to get you from A to B, it builds machines that stir the soul, cars that make you feel something, cars that bring back the romance of motoring, and the Stelvio Quadrifoglio is a fine example of that philosophy, blending practicality with passion, performance with elegance, and daily usability with motorsport spirit. And the legacy of the Quadrifoglio badge itself deepens the car's story, originating from Alfa Romeo's racing heritage in the 1920s when drivers painted a 4-leaf clover on their cars for good luck, which over time became an official emblem reserved only for Alfa's highest-performing models. So when you see it on the Stelvio you know it is not just an SUV, it is Alfa's very best, and critics around the globe have praised it for its handling precision, steering feel, and engaging drive, something that even many high-performance German SUVs struggle to match, with reviews consistently calling it the most exciting SUV in its class, though of course being an Alfa it is not without quirks, such as occasionally firm ride quality and infotainment that feels slightly behind the curve compared to Audi's virtual cockpit or BMW's iDrive, but these are small trade-offs for the joy it delivers every time you fire up that V6 and hear it roar to life. And Alfa Romeo as a brand has made it clear that while its future is heading toward electrification, with an all-new generation of the Stelvio expected to debut in late 2025 built on the Stellantis STLA large platform with hybrid and fully electric powertrains, the Quadrifoglio spirit will live on, potentially even in electrified form, and for now the current Stelvio Quadrifoglio remains a celebration of combustion, a last hurrah of pure Ferrari-influenced firepower wrapped in SUV practicality, a machine that stands out in a world of increasingly homogenized performance crossovers, and to own one is not just to own an SUV, it is to own a piece of Italian culture, a piece of Alfa Romeo's racing heritage, and a daily driver that makes even the most mundane commute feel like a special occasion, proving that cars can be more than just transportation, they can be passion on four wheels, and the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio delivers that in spades, a vehicle that doesn't just compete with rivals, it dares to be different, and in doing so it earns a place in the hearts of drivers who crave not just performance but soul, not just speed but sensation, not just luxury but legacy, because at the end of the day, the Stelvio Quadrifoglio is not simply the fastest SUV Alfa Romeo has ever built, it is the most emotional, and that is